that now. Let us provide the space where we can step our consciousness aside for just a moment to allow the divine flow from the Creator to flow through us, to allow us to receive the beautiful divine messages that come through Marilyn and Lee from the other side, Adironnda and the Council and Kryon. And as we step aside and be in the flow of receiving these messages, let us pose our first question to both Kryon and Adironnda. And here is the question. I am having trouble with the whole God thing, and I know you both speak about God. I love the fact you both channel, and I feel the relationship you must have is connected to Source. Is it God? How can I get past my horrible experience with church that makes me even ask this question?
So it is good day to you, Oh, so very good to see each of you out there. Good day to you, good day to you, good day to you, good day to all of you. So the question of God. Well, God has many different names. Yahweh, Jehovah. You can actually know and understand that God, that source of all that is within you. It is all around you. And the church, we love the church because they really attempted to do something that was sometimes unthinkable, in that they attempted to convince people that God was somehow separate, was somehow disconnected to you and sitting back on a golden throne and judging you. And so, in answer to your question, dearest being of light, that you believe that you've got all kinds of programming and you're now a recovering Christian or a recovering person from their programs that they had as a child, we want you to think of the fact that between you and the source of all that is, that God, Most High of the universe, is all about that energy that is within you. And that is why we say that the source has many, many names. God, Yahweh, Jehovah, many things. And to know that God is also, you could call God Barbara, or you could call God Lee, or you could call God Monica, or you could call God Carroll, or Greg, or Joy, or whatever. Whatever. Because that source is within you and all around you. And you can also, when you look at each other's eyes, you will see that God's center within each other. And to know that when you are repeating the name of your friend, you are also repeating the name of God. And so in recovering from your programming as a child, we just say, stop it. Just get over it. Quit repeating those programs over and over again that no longer serve your highest good or your highest joy. Instead, let us create the new energy. That is what these times are all about, yes? Creating the new frequency that you are a divine messenger of that source. And everything that you are indeed doing, being, having, saying, and communicating is still a part of that essence that is within you, which, surprisingly enough, can be called Barbara. Or God, whichever you choose, huh? Does that make sense?
It's a beautiful answer. Thank you. Thank you. And now, Kryon, if we may hear from you.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. Dear one, I'd like to address this to you. You say you are recovering, perhaps, or you're getting over, perhaps, a horrible experience with what you call church. The first thing I would ask you is, why were you there? Were you demanded to be there? Was it a child or an adult? I can tell you already, you were attracted to something there and then disappointed in the people, perhaps in the doctrine. But there was love there. There really, truly was. Part of your horrible experience were the people that were there that were out of integrity. I know what happened. So for all of you, I will say this. The seed of love is in almost all of these systems. It's what men have done with them over the ages that has taken them to a place of frustration. There are so many who have seen God and thought it was beautiful and then had disappointment with those who were the leaders, who did things that were inappropriate, perhaps, horrific, perhaps. And then what you do is shut the door to the whole organization or the thought of God. In fact, the word God then becomes something you don't even want to say. Some have said, I turn away from the idea of God. So let's change the word, just like Adironnda said. And every time you hear it, think of other words instead, maybe spirit, maybe Barbara. Reframe that which you know is good and real that you are attracted to. Reframe it into the beauty and the purity, not of a system that you have to follow, but of a personal relationship that you have. The source of all things is love. And through the ages, that has been seen by so many who started these various religions. And then something else became of them. But that was the beginning. How can we teach the love of God? Centuries ago, perhaps that was the beginning. How can we have what we feel that is the source or the masters that we have seen? How can we take that and teach it? And then it becomes what it becomes. One of the things that we say now to all of you, it's the end of systems. It may be the end of doctrines, which are systems around that which is God. Instead, it now becomes personal. Isn't it interesting that you can have tens of thousands of people together looking at these things which are odd to many and metaphysical without a central book, without a central master? What is it that brings them together with no doctrine or buildings or rules? And they're all together, believe me. And the answer? Love. So go in that place instead of the place that you were taught or the experiences you've had. And start to then reframe or transmute everything you experienced to what you know is true and real. The love of God.
Beautiful answers. Thank you both. And I'd like to ask another question. And it has to do with Kryon saying that we are born magnificent. And Adironnda tells us the same. And so my question is, if we are so magnificent, why am I seeing such horrible things unfold on the planet? Why do I always feel like I'm being beaten up everywhere I go? Why do I have such low self-worth? Can you please help?
Well, dearest beings of light, going back to the God thing, it was programmed into you. Even whether you were a part of the Christian religion or the Hindu or Taoism or Jewish or whatever, it was almost in your biological programming to believe from the world around you that you were somehow created in the challenging times and were created in what they called original sin. It's like, what was that all about? You see, when that is the beginning of you, it was almost like you didn't quite have a chance. And yet, as you look at yourself, you know that feeling of unworthiness or that feeling of not being enough is the crux or the bottom line of most every challenge you have ever experienced in this world. That feeling of warring one brother against another brother, one neighbor against another neighbor, because they felt that they must be right, and down deep, they felt that they were not enough. That is why we remind you of your magnificence. Dearly beloveds, friends, you are my love. I have sent messenger after messenger after messenger. Our Father has sent guidance after guidance to remind you of who you truly are. Those of you who look upon me and my teachings and then create battles surrounding my teachings, my heart breaks for that information. My heart weeps for that disconnection of your soul and my soul. We, you and I, were not created separate. We were not created in some sinful act. We were not created for destruction. We were created for life, you and I. There are those of you who say, when I walked the planet with you, was perfect. So are you. It is only your old beliefs that seem to separate you from you. So in that avenue of understanding your own magnificence as the messengers of this planet, the links to your divine, I ask you to know in this heart of your being, there are no mistakes. In the heart of your soul is the same divinity that is in the heart of my soul. And that is what I ask you to remember. So when you are judging your fellow human, your fellow friend, because they're fighting against you and creating travesties in my name, why? They have the same DNA structure as you, just as we do, you and I. So the belief that you are not enough, that you are somehow unworthy of living love, as Adironnda, my friend, says, get over it. Just stop it. For as you see, in that book that so many people follow, or in the book that so many people don't follow, we are created in the likeness and image of the source of all that is. You are, not just some of you. You are, not just others of you. You are. So how could you possibly believe that you are not enough except by the choice of separation? Dearest, dearest beloved friends, brothers, sisters, we are one. You and I. We will always be one. You and I. So please, if you somehow believe that I am not enough, look in the mirror and you will see me looking back. For I love you and am with you always as one. Toda. 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 Whew. So, you never know what will happen, do you? We love you deeply. We see you, we know you. We bid you namaste.
It can't get better than the words from Yeshua. Dripping with love, the answer to the question, I feel beat up. What beats you up, dear ones, is yourself. Because, again, you have been programmed to be unworthy. Did you know that? You have been programmed to be unworthy. The age that is coming is going to be called, among other things, the age of common sense. Instead of simply believing a doctrine that superimposes itself over the love of Spirit, there's common sense. Even a child looking back would say, do you mean to tell me that somebody did something eons ago that doomed my soul and made me unworthy? Every single human to come forever is doomed? I don't believe it. It sounds like mythology and control. The age of common sense will prevail and say, it is. What else might be true? And that was given a moment ago. Made in the image of God, made in the image of Spirit. What is that image? It's love. Every single human being was created magnificent in that image. And the beating up that you feel is real, totally real. It's because from birth you were always told, God is big, you are not. Therefore you have to grovel. Therefore you have to do this and that to have any kind of semblance of anything that you might get from a higher source. There are some that make you report to a person and they will talk to God. You never even get that. Does that sound like common sense? That you are created in the image of this beautiful, beautiful Creator and you don't get to even talk to that image? Doesn't make sense because it isn't correct. What is correct is that you have everything you ever thought you didn't. And here is a time for you to realize that. Number one, give allowance that maybe, just maybe, you were programmed. And what I mean by that is that you were told a certain thing for enough years of your life for your subconscious to believe it. And that's the suffering. It's not even real. It's not even real. Number two, reframe everything you've been told and start over. Is it possible that the scenario is totally different than I was ever told? Is God bigger? Is Spirit bigger than I was ever told? Answer, yes. Now go find out how much bigger. And you'll find out something that's startling to you. It involves your soul. That means that you are worthy to walk this planet. You deserve to be here. You're not a victim. Once you start that understanding and realization, life starts to change. There starts to be love and compassion, and light starts to show itself. That's the answer. No one is here to beat you up but yourself. And that has been from the ages and ages of those who designed to tell you you're not even worthy to be here. That's changing, dear ones. The narrative is changing. You are worthy. You belong here, all of you. It is your birthright to be a light worker on this planet. That's the shift. I'm crying in love with you all. And so it is.
And following those wonderful, uplifting messages dripping with love, I invite you to bring your awareness back into your body. That concludes another episode of Fifth Wednesday Specials. I would like to thank Lee and Marilyn for sharing your personal details with us and for sharing the sweet messages and love from Kryon and Adironnda. So that's it from us until another Fifth Wednesday. Have a blessed week.